Welcome to the DFS Army YouTube channel. I am Razzle11, and you can find me on Twitter at Razzle11Grinds. Gonna take a look at some pitching for today, Wednesday, the 24th of May. We have two slates, an early five-gamer and then an eight-game main slate. We'll take a quick look at the early five-gamer first. We get some weather here. Not really a potential for rain or anything, but great hitting weather in Philadelphia. Wind blowing out in Pittsburgh, but obviously that park is built a little more for pitching. Cleveland's going to be mid 60s, but blowing in from center. Looks like a great spot for pitching. So let's take a look quick. Top of the list, Joe Ryan. Definitely going to be in play for me. The Giants do strike out quite a bit. They do have some power. So there's some worry there. The Twins bullpen is terrible. So the potential to lose his W is definitely there. He is at his highest price point of the season, but that is okay with me. Throwing the ball really well at home, averaging almost 30 DK points per start across three starts this season. Definitely SP1 material on this slate. Zach Gallen, one of my favorite pitchers in all of baseball, coming off of a horrendous performance. Just did not look sharp. Walks were up, no strikeouts, really. I will be using him, but I'm going to end up being light. I just really like this ballpark for hitting today, so my main focus in this particular game is going to be on the bats. And as you can see, pretty big split difference between home road for Zach Gallen on the season. Doesn't give up a ton of home runs, but just has not looked good on the road. So I will use some, but it's more of the fact that I just can't get away from Zach Gallen, but he's not going to be a priority. Tiscofani, I think he's going to be solid against Minnesota. Maybe not really spectacular, but solid might be good enough today. He does get a slight K increase in the matchup. He's not a big K guy overall. Opposite of Gallen, he's been sensational on the road, even though his K numbers have been way down when on the road. So, pretty solid option here at the top. Martin Perez, going to be an option. Not an overly exciting one, but I do think he can take advantage of the Pittsburgh offense coming off of a great start. Actually, his best one of the season. I don't mind following that up just because it's not some young arm, and it's not like it was a career start or anything. So I just don't know if I expect him to strike out 7 every time out. If I had to guess, I'd be more inclined to think that's similar to the start against the Yankees, more so than the one against the Rockies. But I think that's perfectly fine. It just he does have the upside for it. But this game, the White Sox and Cleveland Guardians, is one I'm going to be interested in. This is what scares me though: is do I really need to follow up Kopech start his career high start and use him against the Guardians? My initial thought was no, I didn't want to until I looked into the game a little more. Now I'm going to end up being on him, and I'm ready to have my heart broken. He has not looked good all year. 12 home runs allowed in over 50 innings, but maybe he straightens some things out. He obviously has some electric upside. Belak, I think, is certainly in play. He's really settled in the last 2 starts. He actually hasn't been bad in all 4 of his appearances. Didn't really have any strikeouts here and gave up a ton of hits. That was actually his first start after coming in relief of an injured Luis Garcia. I think he's viable, but I do think we have most pitchers on this slate are actually viable. As you can see, I'm not really fading anybody other than, the guys here at the bottom. Just because I don't think Suarez is fully back, but also obviously that the hitting atmosphere in that game is pretty strong. I don't think I'm going to go with Hauser. He's coming off a strong start, but he and Belak are very similar to me, I guess. Uh, and I would rather take Belak attacking Milwaukee than Hauser against Houston. Probably not going to end up on Oviedo, coming off of a strong start again, but taking on a Texas team that leads baseball in runs. Not really in a hurry to do that, especially when I can use Cal Quantrill in a solid pitching atmosphere. Hasn't been spectacular this season by any means, but I think the upside is there. We saw him put up 25 DK points against Minnesota, so I think that can translate and be similar to today's performance. Uh, Switching over to the main slate, at the top we get Bryce Miller, all of 4 starts into his MLB career, been great. Not elite against Atlanta, but that's all right. K numbers have really come down, so that is a bit worrisome. But it is Oakland. I assume he's a sizable favorite. Yeah, minus 305 right now. So he's going to stand out as one of the more popular options. Don't think I'm going to Bryce Elder against the Dodgers. He has looked really good the last 4 starts. A couple of them against some tough teams, but I'm just not sure I'm ready to pay 9,600 for him against the Dodgers. Wells has thrown the ball extremely well, um, but I don't know that I'm going to take him at Yankee Stadium. His worst start of the year, or one of the 2 worst starts of the year, came against the Yankees. So I'm just not willing to pay 9,300 for Tyler Wells. May hurt, but that's all right. Uh, what I am looking at is this game here in Wrigley. Great atmosphere for pitching. Going to be in the low 60s with wind blowing straight in from center, around 13 to 15 miles an hour. Senga is coming off of an elite performance. I don't really expect to see that all the time. He did get an extra day's rest. He was originally slated to start yesterday, pushed back a day. I like the rest spot. The Cubs can score some runs, but I like the environment for them. So Senga and Stroman are going to be a couple of my favorite GPP options. Stroman started the season out super hot, hit a little bit of wall, was all right. Got lit up by the Twins, and then bounced back with a solid performance against the Phillies. K numbers aren't really going to be there, so that's why Senga stands out more to me than Stroman. The K upside being a huge factor. Paxton has looked great in his 2 starts. I will consider him against the Angels. I don't really want to get too heavy with him because there's just a number of guys in that lineup that can hit left-handed pitching. The wind's actually blowing out to center in LA, or expected to be blowing out to center. Not that it has a huge effect, just because we know this park plays bigger at night, but yeah, I'm not sure that I really want to get all too heavy on Paxton. But he will be in my player pool. Alcantara and Coors, I'm not sure what to do yet. I'm gonna have to debate this one since I've been I used Edward Cabrera, used Yuri Perez. Probably have to consider using Alcantara. The reigning Cy Young winner is just 8,300. Problem is he's not pitching like a Cy Young winner. So, gonna have to dig into that one more and see if he's made any starts in Colorado previously. Haven't been using Nestor Cortez. Probably won't use him. He has been good against Baltimore, if I remember correctly. I know he was here, but I'd have to look into last year. But I think he dominated them last year. Uh, he's just okay. Like he's coming off a pretty strong start, but he hasn't been great this season. So my guess is when it all comes down to it, I probably would rather gamble with Alcantara over Cortez. Um, Ryan Weathers could be an interesting one. A couple decent starts earlier. I'm not sure if I want to go there against the Nationals. It's not a bad spot, but I'm just not sure that we will get there. Maybe we consider Matthew Boyd against Kansas City. There is some K upside, but he hasn't been spectacular. Uh, we're gonna have to figure out some guys to add to our pool because right now it looks like my main slate pitcher pool is gonna be pretty narrow. Uh, so I'm gonna have to dig into some history, uh, look into some more of the Vegas information, see what they're really thinking. But to give you an idea, that Cubs Mets game right now has a total of 6.5. Every other game on the main slate has a total at least 2 runs higher than that. Um, so that kind of going to stand out to me quite a bit. So it could be a slate where I just go really, really super tight pitcher pool uh, and focus on getting my stacks correct in my MME. So there we have it. If I make any adjustments, they will be in notes for DFS Army. I might drop a comment down below on the video if something really changes throughout the day. But if you like what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, get an alert every time we drop a video here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, I'll put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, that's RAZ, for 10% off. And as always, best of luck, everybody.